Hello, hi and welcome. I do hope that you're very well. I thought it was time for an Invisalign update because it's been a while. And it's been a while because of lockdown. And just straight off the bat, I am wearing my Invisalign right now, playing them like a xylophone. And one of the things I get asked most about Invisalign is, will it make me lisp? Will I sound like I'm wearing braces? Etc, etc. Now I'm a little bit hissy, but for the most part, I think I can get away with it. And I've recorded many a podcast with them and in the main, people don't seem to notice. So if that's something that you're worried about, I just wanted to address that first and foremost. But it is a little while now since my last update. Because of lockdown, I haven't been able to go and see Dr. Uchenna Okoye, who is my dentist, who has been looking after me on this Invisalign journey. But I got to see her last week, which was so brilliant because as much as she's a great dentist and she's really looked after me with this Invisalign, she's also just a great human being to hang out with. So it was really nice to see her. But the reason I wanted to do an update is because the last time I actually posted about Invisalign, can you believe, I posted back in December and said, is this my last week of Invisalign? Because we were coming very close to the end of the treatment. And then in January I went back and I had some more scans done, and around March time I went back again to go and do some more scans just to double check, because Uchenna is a perfectionist, which I love about her. And she said, yep, you need to come back and then we'll get you on track because all the results get sent away. And then she came back and then lockdown happened, so I couldn't go in. So I was wearing the same aligner for a really long time. And I'll be really honest with you, I wasn't wearing it as diligently as I should maybe have been. But as soon as I knew I was seeing her again, like 3 weeks out, I was like, right, that thing's staying in every single day. But before we even get to the appointment with Uchenna, I have to say I have been astounded at the results I've been able to get with Invisalign, even to this point. Because the last time I had any kind of dental work done, it was full-on orthodontics, and by full-on I mean like the brackets and the wires, and I had that with a fantastic orthodontist called Dr. Asif Chatu, who is brilliant. And the only reason why I needed to investigate Invisalign is because I lost my retainers and my teeth had started to move. And I'm actually going to drop in a video here that is it's probably about 18 months old, that hopefully gives you an idea. Even though it might be quite subtle, my bottom teeth, you can see, have really fallen out of shape. And it was beginning to really bother me, partly because I'd already had good teeth after the dental work I had, like the train tracks as I call it, with Dr. Asif Chatu. So I was like, oh, I really want to do something about this. And this brings me on to something else. Way back in the day, so it was about 2003, 2004 that I had my original braces. Invisalign wasn't able to do what it can do now. And I had a brief chat with Uchenna that I'm going to drop in here, that just really explains to you that as much as it might be about straightening and about a cosmetic appearance, there's also some really structural changes that can be made around the bite. So let me just drop that in now and you can hear what she has to say about that. I am back at London Smiling with Uchenna, and normally, well, you might be missing these updates of me and my Invisalign, but obviously lockdown has played a bit of a part in us having, well, wasn't a pause, was it, as much as just a...
I don't know, a commercial break. I don't know what to call it. A tooth break.
A tooth break. No teeth were broken in the making of this video. But I'm back, and you will notice that normally we're hugging each other and I'm getting us as close together as I possibly can, but we are being super, super safe. I know, I really want to give her a hug. But just so you know, I am 4 aligners away from the end of my treatment, and Uchenna has done something incredible. So just explain where we've come from, because you use the technical term so much better than I do.
Yeah, so basically when we had an open bite, and if you remember, you always like your jaw hurting and lisping and all sorts of stuff. So we've closed so that your teeth are biting normally now. And for me, you're looking at how nice and straight and white and fabulous everything is. And I'm like, oh, all the teeth are touching and it's all even. So now you've got what I call a sneaker bite as opposed to a stiletto bite. So the forces are more even. So I'm delighted.
A A sneaker bite versus, this is new information.
Yeah, no, made up. You can tell, it's so American, isn't it? Sneakers. What would we say here?
Trainers.
Okay, yeah, but sneakers sounds better than trainers.
So a sneaker bite, and I must admit, it's a revelation. I was saying to you, Jenna, that I found a video that I must have posted about 18 months, 2 years ago, and I thought my teeth were all right, but they have been so improved. And actually, it's not just the straightness, it's the bite that you can correct with Invisalign, which I was really surprised by. I thought that would require major, like wired orthodontics, but you can achieve that with Invisalign, can't you?
Yeah, but you need to know what you're doing. So definitely make sure you pick somebody that knows about occlusion, which is the thing about the bite, and can just tailor it for you. So that's important. So yeah, it's not one size fits all. You're special, so you need it special.
This is Uchenna's way of saying, don't do one of those mail order things, because if I mention those, she goes absolutely. She gets a funny shade of sort of puce and gets very upset. Yeah. So that's where we are. So 4 weeks left, and obviously this is in a bigger video, and I'm going to show you some other exciting things. But I just wanted you to see Uchenna because I'm sure you've missed her as I have.
Okay. Bye.
So we're back in the room. Wasn't it nice to see her? So anyway, so back I went, and I was in the dentist chair thinking, oh, I'm at the end, I'm going to be fitted for retainers, and meaning, you know, the fixed retainers to make sure everything stays in place, and I'll be on my way. And I thought, oh, this is quite exciting. And then Uchenna said, yeah, this isn't the end, because Uchenna is a perfectionist and she's brilliant at what she does. And I can actually go back quite a few years to testify to this, because I remember going and see her to get teeth whitening, and I would imagine this would have been in 2010, because about 10 years ago, goodness me. And I went in to go and see her about teeth whitening, and when she examined my teeth, she noticed some gum recession here, and the gum recession had been a result from having orthodontics. It can be one of the things that happens, that the gums, when you move teeth around, the gums can sometimes recede. And sort of looked in my mouth, lifted the chair up, took her glasses off, crossed her legs, crossed her arms, and said, right, I'm going to speak to you like I would speak to my sister. And I've always really appreciated that about Uchenna, and it's why I have nothing but full trust in what she says. So when she said to me, I looked at everything, I want to get this bite as good as we can get it, you're going to have a few more aligners. I just thought, I trust her to make that decision and to do a really brilliant job. And we were chatting at the end, and I said, I just can't believe what has been possible, in the sense that before, my teeth were sort of like this, my jaw was a little bit further forward, and this was uneven. And now, when I'm relaxed and I just close my mouth, well, I haven't got my aligners in, my teeth fit behind my front teeth. And previously they always used to meet and my jaw used to jut. And the comfort I have now is just incredible. And so it's just been a real revelation of what Invisalign can actually achieve, and actually what can be done with someone like Uchenna, who really looks at not just the cosmetic side of it, but actually what's going on with the structure, with the alignment, with the occlusion, as she talks about, all of these things. Do I mean occlusion? I think I do. It's a fancy dentist word, apparently. So it's just been a revelation in terms of, I thought my teeth already looked good, they just had a little anomaly at the front, and I thought it would be a minimal, yeah, we can just straighten that up. But to actually go in and work with someone who, with Invisalign, can not just correct the straightness, but also sort of tinker with the structure, has been such an interesting project to be a part of. And to show you exactly what she's done, I'm going to drop in a video here. And I played it 3 times back so you can see how it started at week 1 and how it got to at week 15. So I've got a few more weeks, I think 7 more weeks after week 15. So I've replayed it 3 times, but I'm actually going to play it for you again, because to actually see the top to the bottom teeth moving back, moving up and into a position, and the top teeth coming down and almost fitting on top of them. I had no idea that was possible. And before I actually went to see Uchenna, I went to see another dentist about Invisalign and had very similar scans and had had all the work done, and they didn't tell me about this kind of result. And so that's why I think someone like Uchenna is just absolutely brilliant, because she looks at it from a very, right, how are we going to get the best result? And the thing I loved about our last visit, and we couldn't actually hug each other, but you know, we sort of like did the elbow thing, is that she said, no, I'm going to have you in these aligners and we're going to put some fixed retainers in because we're not doing this again. Which I just loved, because yeah, that's just Uchenna. Time spent with her is time well spent. So that's the update, because I know a lot of people have been asking him and saying, have you stopped doing it because of lockdown? I absolutely haven't. I love the results that I've been getting, and I'm happy to stick with it a bit more. I had train tracks 10 years ago, the metal wires and everything, because Invisalign wasn't an option, because the work that I needed to have done was too advanced for the Invisalign. Whereas from what I understand, if I went to a dentist now with exactly the same issue as I had 10 years ago, that I was given orthodontic braces for with the wires and everything, they would be able to actually remedy that now with Invisalign, which is incredible. Some of the videos that you can see of before and afters and how they've shifted teeth around are utterly brilliant and fascinating. But that's the update, and I think you will agree, although I may have this bit lipstick on it. Lipstick wearing and Invisalign, not impossible, but you just have to keep an eye on it, especially with a bold colour, which is why I went for a pinky nude. But yeah, it can be somewhat challenging, but delighted. How could I not smile with the results I've had so far, and I'm not even at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.